Welcome to the Put On Waivers Media Group, home of the Put On Raiders podcast and the Student Body Right podcast. This is your place for the best breakdowns and the best insight for those who fight on and bleed silver and black. Now, here are your hosts, Dwayne Douglas and Ryan Holmes.
Hey, welcome everybody to the glorious episode of the Student Body Right USC podcast. I'm your host, Dwayne Douglas. As always, I am podcasting off the beautiful shores of the Pacific Ocean. Beautiful day out here in Southern California. PORSBR is my Twitter handle. We have Coach B here to kind of break things down from the 4 point loss, whatever, to the 2 point loss to Utah yet again. Three straight losses to Utah. That Utah is basically the team that kept, this team out of the playoffs 2 years in a row. I mean, you'd be able to break it. You're gonna break it down like that. Sorry if you hear a lot of noise in the background. I'm doing my best to with the wind and the cars behind me. So, Coach B, how you doing?
I'm good. It was a little disappointing. I was at the game, I was at the game. I'm watching it, but glad to see some fight in this. You know what I mean? I hate that we lost at home. I don't ever think we should lose at home, but kind of is what it is.
It is what it is. So, what I want to say too is this: let's start off with you were there, your perspective, and then you wanted to make a comment about this is bigger than maybe bigger than Alice Grinch, but
yeah. So being there, being in the building. First of all, hey man, listen, I love being on campus. Tailgating was fun with the people, but then just getting in, being in the building. Building was electric. Even throughout the game, we were down and it feels, bleak. Building was still electric. So that was my first thing. Let's dispel the rumors that we don't bring a crowd because the building was packed.
Yeah. It was nice. Yeah.
That thing was packed. It was beautiful, right? But the thing is, so I'm watching them go away from the run, but we went away from the run before. So to me, this is par for the course. We went away from the run against Colorado. We went away from the run against Arizona State. We went away from the run against Notre Dame. Granted, we were kind of down. We didn't necessarily need to, but we did, right? If you look at the numbers, I think I was with one of my friends, and we looked at the numbers, right? And it was like we had a total, I think, of 23 total carries or something like that. But 10 of those were Caleb Williams, and they weren't designed runs.
Yeah.
So if you think about the rushes we had 10 of them. We had 23 total. 10 of them by our quarterback. I think it was 7 for Austin Jones, and then the other one was 5 for Marshawn Lloyd. That's not a number we need we can continue to go with from our backs, right? And so that's why it leads me to believe that it's not just Grinch. Our offense has no identity. We don't have an identity on offense. And granted, don't get me wrong, I've never been a believer in Alex Grinch. I think I've said this to many a times. I'm not a big believer in Alex Grinch. I'm not. This defense doesn't seem to work. We seem very chaotic on defense, meaning at the snap of the ball, or getting in position, we got guys jumping around, waving their hands, trying to get people in position. We are in
100%.
Week 6? What are we doing? How are we still having these like errors where people are not in position or they feel like somebody should be here and they're not, right? But this thing on offense is making me a little nervous. We can't get separation. Taj Washington's the only one who's getting separation. You know what I mean? And I listen, Caleb had a pretty bad throw where it should have been called pass interference, but it's also a throw that he should have made. It's an NFL throw. It should have been on the line. Instead, he floated it into the cover 2 hole, and I just don't think he expected the safety to get there.
Is
right?
that the one before halftime? The Taj?
I believe so, yeah. Where it should have been pass interference. Everybody in the stadium saw it should have been pass interference. Yeah. They didn't call it, but that's also on Caleb. If you put that in the cover 2, and if you put that on the line, like you're throwing in the cover 2, then Tosh catches that and he's running. He's probably gonna hit his head on the goalpost, right? So again, but for overall, and I've seen this over the past couple of weeks, we cannot get separation. We cannot win off the line. We're not beating guys off the line at the receiver position. But part of this is these receivers are not getting any getting their legs under them, right? They can't get comfortable because they're being rotated every 2 plays, if that. So that to me, something's bigger. Again, granted, listen, again, Grinch is our number one issue. He is numero uno. Not gonna get around that. But this offense is very stagnant. This offense has the creativity we saw early has no more creativity. It's Caleb or it's bust. This offense is the offense that I thought we would end up with last year, where the two games I called us to lose last year was Notre Dame and Utah. Those are two games I thought we were going to lose last year. Those are what's beautiful. Those are the games we're probably going to lose this year. And we probably shock the world, beat Washington and beat Oregon. God help you if we do that, because I'm going to be unbearable. But I just don't see this offense unless we get creative, unless we do things differently, get more motion in our offense. It's going to be more the same.
Do you see? Is Caleb not taking? I mean, like I see it on 22 sometimes where he just won't take the 5-yard play.
That's sometimes. Now I have to give him sometimes. That is true, right? But I think the read. I think what teams are starting to do is cover him like they cover Patrick Mahomes. Play the too high shell, right? Mm-hmm. Play too high. It does not let you beat us over the top because we're going to live off the big plays. So now it's going to take Caleb in his evolution of playing quarterback is to play underneath. Take what's given underneath. And until he does that, it's going to be bad for us.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something that you got to think about too. I mean, I think we even saw some of that from a 1-5 Arizona State team that went to Washington and held them without a touchdown. Yep. I think when you have these big time quarterbacks, Oregon might have the best mix because Oregon doesn't have a guy. They don't depend on Bo Nix for the big play like Washington depends on Penix and USC depends on Caleb for big plays. So they'll never give up on the run. They're always going to give up. They're always going to run the ball regardless. And I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why that takes place. I was trying to do a comparison from Travis Dye last year to this year, and it seems like they're running the ball about at the same clip. And even to me, like just a threat of a run. Like if you saw the touchdown pass early in the game with Todd Washington, great over the shoulder catch. They ran it, and then you saw Marshawn Lloyd was about to come out of the game, and they said no, stay.
Yeah.
And then I kind of felt like, play action's coming, and they play action, boom, right over the top, even over that shell. So if you just and you don't have to even be running the threat of the run. Just get a play action, faking the ball, going into the belly of the running back will hold linebackers and create plays behind it as well too. So, I mean, listen, I thought we were in a game where the offense was going to be flowing because I thought it was a real slick touchdown behind the touchdown to Zachariah Branch. I thought that was a real slick play. I was like, okay, we in this. We're good to go.
Yeah, but he got creative. You feel me? He got creative finally.
But I did think that
you look at the 2-point conversions. Look at 2-point conversions. We're cutting off half the field rollouts.
Yeah, me personally, I hate cutting off the field.
Run the ball.
Run the ball. Number one. Number two, my thing was keep it on after you get the pick six. You gotta have a feel for the game. Your offense is struggling. Keep it on a natural football score. Kick the extra. They lost that game. The kick at the end of the game would have been a kick for
a tie.
For a tie in overtime, like they weren't going to push the ball into the end zone unless they really had to, unless USC went up by 4 points. They were glad to play in overtime in that situation. So I did like the fight. Like I can't because I thought when Lincoln I'll criticize him for like that early in the game 4th and 1. Like we're USC. We could win. We cannot kick the ball back to anybody.
We're at home.
At home.
So here's what I felt like about
way.
Lincoln, though. What I felt like about Lincoln is he was playing a game as if we have a great defense. He was playing field position as if we have a great defense. That was my problem with Lincoln in this game. If you look at the first 4 drives, yeah, he's playing this game. Like, okay, we're going to get stops. They're going to get stops. And as long as, he played scared for the first time. That's what I equated it to. He played nervous.
He got
We're
nervous. He got
normally
nervous.
4th and
Yeah, he
1
got
at
nervous.
home. Go.
Yeah, hell,
No, let's go.
they went for a 4th and
now
7.
you're gonna punt and back them up.
No, we had a 4th and 7.
Like, who cares about backing them up? That's my thing.
I know we had a 4th and 7 bomb to Brendan Rice against Arizona State. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is like par for the course. We don't punt the ball in that spot. Like, come on, cuz. Like, that's crazy. I thought last year when they played at Utah, there was a portion of the game where I think they were up 10, and like you just wanted to see that one score to really put them over the top. Say what you want about Alex Grinch. At 14-14, the offense did nothing during that time period, and they even and they've been bad at the middle 8 all year. The last 4 of the first quarter,
right? That's true.
And the first 4, I mean, they've been mad. They've been really bad at the middle 8 all year. So the middle 8 has been an issue, and I thought for sure that like maybe you'll see a little bit of something coming out of halftime, and you get like a maybe 3 points or 14 points. Didn't see that. I did think that the Dennis I was against going for the field goal in that spot, but then in retrospect, it was a good play to get points on the board in that spot.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess so, but the 4th and 1 really was the one thing that bothered me. If Marshawn fumbles, he's your bell cow back. Like, still keep him on. Even if you're worried about that, if you live with the fumble, like, it's gonna happen. Like, you're not gonna be gun shy of passing the ball because Caleb throws the interception. So it goes that way. So that's the one thing I didn't like about it. I think defensively, let's go back to that real quick. I just feel like, you know what? Before I go defensively, special teams, and you coach defense. So like, I'm not trying to. So hear me out. If you don't have a special teams coordinator, fine. You're one of 8 programs. Georgia doesn't have one either. Right. 8 program who doesn't have one. Why not just kick the ball in the back of the end zone every time? And just
so what's funny? What's funny, bro?
Yeah.
I laughed because when I finally seen him kick the ball in the back, I'm like, he really can do it. So why are we not I'm literally sitting in the stands.
Yeah.
I'm like,
he can reach.
I didn't know
if he can reach, right?
I didn't know if he could reach or not.
Yeah.
Because a year he's 10, 15, right? We're giving up field position. He finally did it. I'm like, do it every time. So this is a call. You guys are telling him to kick it short, as if we have some great defense.
That or have a great coverage team as far as kickoffs go. Like, to me, like, that was the most. I don't know who 84 is. I didn't even want to look his name up. But when it was I believe it was 14-7, we kicked off. We had the guy, and then this is the thing that drives me crazy. They always have a guy pinned against the boundary, when all you got to do is just push him out. You get low and push him out of bounds. 84 tackles the kick returner high, and he changes fields and runs it back to midfield. And I'm like, dude, this is exactly what like just to make with our 4 down linemen, with that rotation, Romello Height, Bear Alexander, all those guys, like, just make them go the distance every time they're going. It's going to be a holding penalty. They're gonna fuck it up. Like, it's hard to go against. It's hard to go against.
Yeah, at some point they're going to do it.
Yeah, they're going to mess it up.
Yeah, at some point,
Go ahead.
Especially with that receiver. I mean, with that quarterback, he can't be perfect. He can't be perfect.
Yeah.
And that's what always makes me mad about Grinch is that, dude, we finally got a glimpse of Zion Branch, and in crunch time, when we need Zion Branch the most, you pull him out.
And I'm not sure. Did he get concussed in that game at all? Because he pounded one of the Utes on a run, and he just got pulled out. Yeah, it's crazy.
He yanked him, and he keeps doing it. Bryson, because okay, so if you take the play, right, the last play of the game before they set up the field goal, where he the quarterback has the big run, right, down to the 20. Bryson Shaw's not in the game. So the play before they got the big run, Zion's in the game. He's making plays. Bryson Shaw is the spy on the quarterback. So he brings Bryson Shaw in, the most unathletic safety we have, and you put him in a spy, and this dude runs 20. Bryson Shaw takes a terrible angle.
Yep.
And you put him in there, and now he goes up underneath the blocker, and now this guy's running for 20 yards. It was like, why? Zion was doing very well.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Even the defensive rotation, to me, he was on the hash closest to the USC bench. So I'm gonna send 5. I'm gonna put him in that corner so he can't go anywhere. So the ball can just because he's not the
Right.
clock is ticking in that situation. The clock is ticking in his head, and if at some point you gotta have him throw the ball away. The only thing the only thing they did do in that one, but they went man, right, and then everybody's back to the quarterback on that play.
That
so,
too.
Yeah, I mean you can't
Yep.
can't go you
Yep.
can't do that. You can't do that as well. He's just like there's a shot of him on the sideline screaming, do your job, all that stuff like that. Like I think this is a conversation. This is a hard conversation that no matter what happens the rest of the season, hard conversation that the AD is gonna have to sit down with Lincoln and just say, like, my guy, I got you in every single way. You need money, you need whatever, you need Snoop Dogg to come through, you need Will Ferrell to come through.
Right.
Whatever you want, we got you. But your boy has to, and we need a real search for a defensive coordinator. And to me, well, why do you care who is doing the defense? As long as he does that shit good, who cares? Like, who cares?
Just be serviceable. Don't be 107.
Oh,
right now, we're ranked 107.
Behind Connecticut.
Be 107.
Behind the University of Connecticut. That is crazy.
Right.
That's crazy.
And we're worse than what we were last year.
Yes, sir.
How do you get another year into the system, and we're worse than we were year before?
I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. So, so I do think so. This seems like okay. Segueing into, unless you have anything else on the Utah game, we can segue into Cal real quick.
No.
Like, we gross. It's terrible. We don't hear about it anymore.
That's just
As my father would say, it's bullshit fuckery. But let's roll to Cal now. Cal, they can't score points, whatever. It should be a perfect get right game for them. But this needs to be like, I'm watching some of these scores and I'm saying to myself, damn, like I'm saying like UCLA is consistently holding some teams to less than double figures. I'm like, yo, Chip Kelly is like, you know what? I'm gonna take care of my offense. I got my young quarterback, maybe not ready this year, but we'll be ready next year. But I'm gonna have him just take care of the defense. They've been pretty good defensively all year, and when they played the Pig Farmer, they held them to 7 points. They lost the game 14-7, but like they still won the.
They held them.
They held them to 7 points. So, they need to use. This needs to be a USC like 50-7. I'm
gonna be honest with you, I'm so worried about this game. Because Cal typically plays us. They give us fits. They've given us fits in the past. They've been in places where they shouldn't beat us, and they have. You go all the way back, I believe, to the Aaron Rodgers year where they had no shot, shouldn't have been playing with us in that game, and they beat us. I just don't trust what's going on right now, and I'm very nervous because we're going to Berekley. We're in a spot where we should be this team.
And Cal has not shown up. Yeah, go ahead.
It's one of those games where everything is all our ducks are lined in a row, and I just am worried. I'm being honest.
You have to be.
It's not one of those that gave me any warm and fuzzies.
Yeah, I mean, until they actually go out there and actually do it and show that they can go win a game 50-7, you gotta be worried. So you gotta be worried. I'm interested to see. They really, if they can win, you almost. I know some people to text the show and said, hey, you know what? If this is what it takes to get Alex Grinch out of here, then let's let it happen. But like they really do need to win this game going away. No question about it. I didn't even do any.
No, we do for sure.
Yeah. They got to win this game going away. I mean, if Cal goes bada boom, bada bing, bada bing, and then scores on the first 2 drives, I don't. I mean, like after a week of like what you're preparing for an entire week. Like I really think that what he does for a week, Alex Grinch, is that he sits there and he just worries about what USC is supposed to do and not worry about the opponent. Like I feel like he has
Well,
to
you
do
know
that.
what's funny? You know what's funny is I sat back yesterday, right?